In an era where political leaders often evade scrutiny and accountability, few voices cut through the noise with relentless clarity like Andrew Neil. Known for his incisive commentary and fearless questioning, Neil has become a formidable critic of Keir Starmer's leadership, never hesitating to expose the cracks beneath the surface. From dissecting Starmer's wavering policies to highlighting his struggles to connect with ordinary Britons, Neil's critics resonate at a time when the country faces profound challenges. The recent arrest of Jeremy Clarkson during the farmers' protests has reignited this debate, casting a spotlight once again on Starmer's perceived leadership failings. But beyond the headlines, this incident serves as a microcosm of a deeper issue: the disconnect between political rhetoric and the real needs of the people. Clark, could I ask you just to calm down? Your continued presence here has constituted a breach of the peace. Therefore, I am also arresting you. If we all carry on signing the petition, we can be arrested. If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave. Andrew Neil is a force to be reckoned with, known for never shying away from sharing his opinions, especially when it comes to Keir Starmer. Over the years, Neil has earned a reputation as one of the few public figures willing to speak out when others remain silent, particularly on issues that directly impact the British public. Whether it's Starmer's constant flip-flopping on policies or his lackluster leadership, Neil has consistently refused to toe the party line. His critiques have become a vital counterpoint in British politics. Now, with the news of Jeremy Clarkson's arrest in connection to the farmers' protests, Neil is once again stepping up to hold Starmer accountable. For Neil, this isn't just another headline. It's the latest in a long list of incidents where Starmer's leadership has faltered or, worse, gone completely silent. As I understand it, Keir Starmer doesn't know anything about economics, and that's why he's handed it over to Rachel Reeves, who's always telling us that she was an economist even when she wasn't. I mean, the combination of Starmer and Reeves may end up in a lot of big mistakes being made. This government seems to me to have more in common with Labour in the 1970s than with the Blair-Brown years, which actually did produce a lot of economic growth until the Great Crash. What stands out is how Neil remains one of the few in the media brave enough to call Starmer out when he gets things wrong. Clarkson's alleged arrest, following his leading role in the protests, serves as yet another glaring example of Starmer's weak leadership. The incident has only amplified Neil's ongoing critique of the Labour leader, as it highlights how Starmer has struggled to address the needs of ordinary people, especially those in rural Britain. Who could forget the unforgettable moment when Andrew Neil tore into Keir Starmer live on TV? It wasn't just an interview, it was a masterclass in political interrogation. Starmer, who was supposed to present himself as the strong alternative to Boris Johnson, suddenly found himself on the back foot, stammering and dodging questions. Neil's sharp probing exposed the cracks in Starmer's leadership, leaving the Labour leader looking like a politician unprepared for the pressures of the job. It was a devastating moment not just for Starmer's reputation, but for the Labour Party as a whole. If Starmer couldn't handle Neil's tough questions, the public was left to wonder, could he handle the immense responsibility of leading the country? As the aftermath of that encounter faded from the headlines, Neil kept the pressure on, highlighting Starmer's ongoing missteps. What happened in France? What is unfolding in France is the defeat of the centre and the failure of centrist policies. These are exactly the policies that Keir Starmer is going to be elected on if he fails in Britain. And don't forget, his policies are obsessed with net zero, pretty relaxed about immigration, high taxes, industrial strategy, metropolitan-based concerns rather than provincial ones. Well, I can tell you this, Britain ain't going further left. There's only one other way it's going, and that is to the more populist right. That moment marked the beginning of a long-standing dynamic where Neil's critiques of Starmer became a regular feature in the political conversation. Fast forward to today, and Jeremy Clarkson's arrest has added yet another twist to the ongoing drama. Clarkson, known for using his platform to champion the cause of Britain's farmers, was arrested after leading a protest in London. But this wasn't some celebrity stunt. Clarkson's bold actions underscored the frustration felt by rural communities, who have long felt ignored by politicians. As the dust settles on yet another controversy, one thing remains clear. Andrew Neil's unyielding scrutiny continues to shape the political discourse, holding Keir Starmer and others to account. Jeremy Clarkson's arrest isn't just an isolated incident, it's a symbol of the growing frustration among those who feel abandoned by the political elite. Neil's relentless questioning serves as a reminder that true leadership demands more than polished speeches and lofty promises. It requires courage, consistency, and a willingness to face the tough questions head-on. In the battle for Britain's future, the voices that refuse to be silenced, whether from the fields of rural Britain or the studios of national media, will ultimately determine the path forward.